It's Monday, so it's 2 o'clock and live on lockdown time. Now, we've been going through and speaking to a lot of the guys that go around the races, and I've been wanting to speak to this guy on live on lockdown since we started this format. He's become a real good pal of ours down in the pits. He has nothing but a smile on his face every single time, and he's really started to become a very tasty rider as well, almost as fast on the bike as he is on the decks. DJ Mac'e, or sometimes you know him as Dean Gilau. Welcome, buddy. Welcome onto the show. It's so good to see your smiling face, man.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Yeah.
I'm very happy to join and talk a bit of stuffs that we all love.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's most of the time you and I are just stood in the pits talking rubbish anyway. So now we just do it online.
we share our weird comments with the world.
Exactly. I mean, you were actually going to step in for me at one point this year on the mic as well. So, you know.
Yeah,
you dodged that bullet, eh?
Well, it's one of those bullets where you go, is it a good thing to dodge or not? And, you know, it's a shame, man.
So listen, man, I mean, obviously we know you from racing predominantly at the Farm Jam events, and everyone knows that you're a DJ. But what else have you been up to during this time? Because obviously we were supposed to see you. You're in the form of your life. We'll get to the racing side just now. But what's been happening with you and the family for the lockdown time so far?
Yeah, well, I'm very, very lucky that I've got a day job as well. And for those that don't know, I might have a little bit of brains in me. I am a cloud architect. So I help with managing people's cloud environments and all that stuff for Cloud Essentials. And yeah, I'm very blessed that I actually had some work to do. So I've been working from home nonstop. The only difference is with no gigs, there also comes no racing money. But on the other hand, we weren't allowed to race. So yeah, it's a weird situation. But yeah, no, everybody's healthy. Haven't gone into any trouble or anything, so I guess that's good.
Well, all you mean is you didn't get caught. That's what you mean. That's what you mean. Well, listen, dude, I mean, the whole idea of lockdown, and you've been following me, and it's been great to see all of your comments. I think you've been one of our biggest fans, so thank you for that. But it's been fun to find out a little bit of background behind some of the riders. So, you know, that's the whole idea of this. And I'm sure you actually picked up some hints and tips and maybe some knowledge about what the guys have been doing in the background, hey?
Yeah, what I picked up, like I looked at a few of the videos and stuff, and what I can see is I think the reason why I'm not number one most of the time is because I don't do any of those things. Point one, be fit. Point two, eat right. Point three, be fit and eat right together. and I don't think I do a lot of those, but yeah, I'm that guy that does the racing for the fun of it, and well, most people do, but it's like my wife said, she's like, why would Matt want to interview you? And I'm allowed to say this, because I'm your wife, but you're not that a good rider.
And nice.
but I guess you're actually fun to be around.
Yeah,
so, I guess that's most of the stuff. It's like I ride because I love it and it's fun. But I think I'm involved quite a lot in the scene. I do a lot of DJ events at a lot of bike events. And yeah, I just love the people.
In fact, for the last year or so, you've kind of aligned yourself with KTM, which is cool, man, because it was nice to see you get out to some of their launches and events. And I think that did boost your profile. I mean, we met you, and I think from the first time we interviewed you, you were just one of those cool guys. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where you're finishing in the race, but you and your gang, your crowd that you go racing with,
the FJC clan.
Yeah, FJC clan. I mean, you guys are the funnest crew down there. You really are.
Yeah. So let's start with the FJC clan stuff. So a bunch of us. When was it? It was last year. The first time I ever rode Farm Jam. So one of my friends, Eugene, said, no, man, come. Let's go do a Farm Jam. It's going to be nice. And I'm like, what's this Farm Jam? He's like, no, man, just come. It's fun. You don't need a racing license or anything. And we just have fun. And so I went and everything. And it just became awesome. There were 5 of us that did it. And then the race after that, I think we were up to about 8. After that, we went up to about 12. And now we're between 13 and 20 riders riding. And we were sitting there, we're like, no, man, we need some other name for ourselves. And we went, okay, no, but we're the Farm Jan clan, just for the fun of it. So we called it FJC.
And you're definitely the party crowd, though. I mean, racing is one thing, but you can almost like look at you guys when you're riding. Even though you've got goggles and helmet on, I can see that you're smiling and laughing and giggling.
Yeah, we have to. Yeah, it's a fun bunch of people. Most of the guys, though, one of the guys, CFE, we've got this personal trophies that we created ourselves. One is like a chain that's formed into a heart that I welded, or one of the other guys, Dolph, Mr. Goon with a peak, that guy. He actually helped me welded it properly, and we took a little toilet and we sprayed it gold, and that's for the guy that ends up last. So CFE gets very upset. He's very set into, he wants his toilet trophy because he goes for the scenic route. He says he rides and he takes the scenic route and he takes pictures.
Yeah, dude. I mean, you know me, I love the racing and everything like that, but there's definitely that element of just hanging with you guys that's the best thing in the world. But also you guys, I mean, particularly you, I mean, you bring the family out every single time. You've got one of the best pit moms out there. The whole crew are out there. The girls are looking out for you. That's what it's about, isn't it? That's really the big thing.
It's 100%. It's like we make a weekend thing out of it when there's a race weekend. So wherever there's a race and I decide to take part in it, we do a family outing. We look for a place to stay. We stay there for the weekend and the girls love it. And even my mom, I mean, last year, I was very blessed that she actually sponsored all my accommodation and everything as well for the year. So she also comes through and the girls are just happy. They're the happiest if they can get a fast bar. And if I come into the pits, that they can just give me a fast bar. That makes them happier.
They just want to be part of it. I think when we go racing again, one of the girls has got to be the goggle girl. That must be the thing. Goggle girl.
Hundreds. We can do that.
Listen, take me back. I mean, we know you as a KTM guy, and I think the orange looks good on you. But you were blue for a while back in the day, hey? Tell me about the dark days back on the old 125, man.
Yeah, so this was 2008, 2009, around there. That's you can see on the screen now, that was a 2006 model YZ125 two-stroke with a long-range tank there. That was like my first proper bike that I had, if I could put it that way. I used to race the GOCs with that bike, and one of the problems that I think I spoke to you about that is they didn't have a class for me because I wasn't a junior, but I was riding a 125 because it's the only thing I had. And I'm very happy that days they actually made a bit of they said, you know what, even though we don't have a class, you're more than welcome to ride in the open class. So that was quite fun. Never won anything, but it was fun just to have that safe 200 kilometers just to go and ride without worrying about any issues. And I mean, MSA has always done an awesome job in keeping the riders safe where they can. So, and that was
old Adolf. Adolf used to run those, didn't he? But the tracks were laid out by Ati Simon. Actually used to lay out the tracks, and they were actually different tracks.
We used to race with Lowrance at that stage.
Correct. Yeah. Well,
everybody was like, I just want to catch Lowrance, but nobody.
I spoke to one of the other riders, and I said the goal at those old GOCs was to see if you could only get lapped once. It never happened. I always got lapped twice, but the goal was to get lapped only once.
Only once, and to actually finish all of the laps.
Yeah, exactly.
So that you can, as long as you can go out on your last lap, then you know you're fine.
Yeah, and look at how it's changed now. The guys are they kind of moan about going out on that lap number 5. Back in those days, we couldn't make lap 5.
It's all we done yet.
Exactly. But I mean, those were good old days. But then you took a little bit of a gap, didn't you? You took some time out before we saw you swing a leg again.
Yeah, we fell pregnant with our first one, and I was that dumb and brave guy at that stage when I was still young. So I knew that, okay, well, there's a little one on the way, so I know I take chances. And when it comes to kids, you don't really want them to grow up without a daddy and stuff. So I decided, and please, everybody must understand, it's not because racing is dangerous. Yes, well, but it was plain just because I knew that I take too many chances. And I decided, no, let me stop that for now. Let's first make sure Kitty grows up. And I basically thought, okay, I'm done racing. And a few years later, in 2018, my wife bought me a KTM 300 TPI for our wedding anniversary, brand new, my first ever brand new bike there was. So,
Bless her.
wife of the year
Bless her.
goes to Jan. Yeah. And then I think it was May or June 2018. We were sitting in the garage, and I was sorting out the garage, and she's just like, "Babe, would you want to race again?" And I'm like, "It's the only thing of all the stuff I've given up for the kids, because life is life, you give certain stuff up for family." And I told her that's like the one thing that I actually missed like crazy was the racing. And she's like, "Well, you've got an awesome bike, and you're a bit more responsible rider now, so go for it." And just made sure all my life policies is up to date. And yeah, and that's when I started riding again. Well, on the race side.
Yeah.
And so last year, I decided, one of my friends, like I told you guys, they said, "No, come try Farm Jam." And we did the whole season last year, and then, yeah, well, not the whole season. I had a bit of
there was the one moment.
Yeah.
I mean, you were making podium more often than not as well, which was really cool to see. But obviously, these videos show on that 300 Smoker, which was almost the perfect bike for those Farm Jam events. But yeah, you clearly got a little bit brave at one point.
Yeah, that was actually just because I was tired and I didn't give enough throttle. And there was this little dip in the sand that I didn't see properly. And if I just gave it a bit more throttle, I would have gone over. But the front wheel hooked, I went over, and collarbone gone. And I was still so sad about that, because at that stage I was third in our class, and it was me, Nick Wells, and Jay Pretorius. That was 1, 2, and 3. And Jay was second, and on that race his gearbox gave in. So I knew, okay, cool, well, at least I'll have second, because we were very close in points. And then I fell, and then my heart was broken. I shattered. That's why this year, when I, like the race after that, I decided, no, I'm going to go back. I'm not allowed to ride, but I'm going to be there. I'm going to support
I remember you being there. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And at the end of the race, Eugene came to me and he's like, "Buddy, this would have been your race." In tears. I just walked there to a tree there at the back, and I went and I cried.
Oh, dear
I was
me.
so sad. But yeah, it's oopsie. Hold on.
Oh, you crashed
Surprise!
again.
I crashed again. Phone crashed. And yeah, this year I went in and I said, okay, I'm going to do it. And managed to hook a second on the first Farm Jam of this year. So
I've got to tell you, though, you look a hell of a lot better on that 350 for some reason. I think you were maybe just waiting to get your feel on the bike, but that 350, you are dialed in on that thing.
I had that 350 for a week before the Farm Jam. So I went out for a bit of a ride, but not really a proper ride. I sent it in for its first hour service just before Farm Jam. And then I took it to Farm Jam. So I didn't have a lot of time. But one thing I can say is the difference between the 300 and the 350. The 350 does not make you tired as a 300. Look, I love the 300. I love the 350. I'm not one of those only 2-stroke, only 4-stroke guys. But the difference is that power curve is like linear. It doesn't pull you like the 300 does, but it just keeps on going. It doesn't stop with the power. So you feel like you're riding slower, but you're not, because it just keeps on going. And I think that's what helped me. I mean, I finished the 4th lap, and I was like, okay, well, I'm fine. And and the fuel consumption on that thing is insane. And that helped a lot. There's me going down.
It's not so good in the mud, though, I see.
Well, I'm not that good in the mud. Especially some of those Farm Jam muds. It's like stretches.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, I think
what's the deal with going guns out this year as well, without the sleeves? What's that?
I just thought, you know what? It's fun. And it actually helped a bit with the staying a bit cooler. But when the sun is out a lot, then I'll rather put on my long sleeves, because then that keeps you cooler again. So it's
is that why you went down in the mud, though? You went a little bit Arnold Schwarzenegger in Predator.
I thought,
put the mud on the arms.
over.
Yeah. I see you.
Yeah, covers the sun. You see, Matt, I like it that you understand me. There's
I'm
not a
with
lot
you,
of
brother.
people that do. So.
I'm with you. No, man. I mean, if last year was going to be your year, then you could see that this year was definitely going to be your year, because the pace was right there. I think I was going to probably drag you to a GXCC at one point this year as well, and make you race.
Yeah, I'll probably, depending on what happens with this whole lockdown stuff. I think I want to try one of the GXCCs again. Go check a bit what's going there.
We're badly missing racing. We're badly hanging out with the guys, and as time goes on, we're starting to miss like weird stuff, and it's the driving to the races and the stories of all the silliness and all the other riders. A lot of the guys have said that's the thing. They miss the journey of racing. The race is one little thing, but everything else is what we're missing.
Yeah, it's that spending that time after the race talking about how it was, that did you see this? Did you see that? And I fully understand. And it's even before the time where everybody gets psyched up, and some of the guys are like, I'm nervous, I want to vomit, I don't feel well. Come, man, come, let's just have fun. And it's all that kind of stuff. So no, I 100% with you there. It's more than just riding a bike. It's a lifestyle, if I can put it that way. It's a way of living.
Even when I quit my racing program, to still be involved in the races made it not so painful. So I still kind of live my racing life through you guys. I get to talk about you, but it's still, being part of it is still a very big thing for me. And we're missing it, dude. I mean, we're getting close to like 4 months since we were on the dirt. And I mean, have you actually swung a leg on the bike, or what have you been doing?
I was on the bike twice since lockdown. That's it. And where was it? The one time we went to Rhino Park, ridden a bit there, and other time was just a little outride. But I miss it. Like at this point, you like get on the bike and you're like, oh, something feels weird, and you first have to get used to the freaking thing again. But it's fun. About 5 minutes later, you're like, okay, let's do this.
Yeah. And what's been happening with the guys at Fast? Obviously, you've kind of like gone in with those guys. Have they got rides and stuff happening, or what?
I think a lot of people ask me like, how do I fit into the KTM thing? How do I fit into the Fast and everything? So one of my friends, Vin Diesel from 947 as well. He said to me that, dude, you like bikes. Come, do you want to join me at one of the events? And it was one of the bike festival events, SA Bike Festival in Kailami. And I joined him for it, and it was just fun. And I know some of the guys in KTM as well, in KTM South Africa. And it just started to become, I used to join him more often, and we got invited to the KTM Adventure Rally to go play there as well, and that kind of stuff. And that's how I met the guys at Fast as well, Dave and them. And like, especially, you'll see I've got my Fast shirt as well. But I mean, if I have a look at how that fits into my whole racing thing, Fast gives me awesome service. The guys at F61 with their cleaning products always help me out with cleaning products and insane good stuff. Then you've got the KTM guys, if there's any issues and you feel, but there's something not lacquer, and this isn't only me. If I have to ask them, they just helpful. And that's why I don't mind wearing orange, because for me, that's just the way. I've just had good experiences, and this is nothing against any other brand. Please understand. I mean, I'm lucky that I can say I'm not being paid to say any of this.
Yeah.
So, but it's just my experience, and I've had awesome times with all of those guys, and they just help me out. If you need anything, talk. And I think that's a big thing. A lot of people go, no, but this is like this and that. If, like they always say, if you don't ask or question something, or nobody's going to answer you because there was no question.
Exactly.
So I think that's quite nice.
And tell me, obviously one of your teammates, I don't know if you're tight with him, but you see the brawler, old Ian Roll. You check him try and do that backflip the other day. What a goon.
Yeah, oops. Also, oops. At least he came off better than I did.
Yeah.
And I didn't even try a backflip.
Apparently, he says his hand came off the throttle as he gripped and ripped. So
yeah. No, but the guys that ride full fast are actually a crazy bunch of guys. I mean, I went out with Carl Potgieter the other day, and remember after the first farm jam, my finger had a little issue. I don't know if you can see, it's still a bit thicker than it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
So it was just before I got my 350. And I asked the guys at FOSS, like, listen, okay, so I bought this new 350 now. Is it going to be ready this weekend? They're like, no, it still needs to go into pre-delivery and everything, but it will be ready for you next week. I'm like, okay, but I want to go ride now. And I traded in my 300. So I said, okay, well, I'm going to go ride with my 300. And I said, dude, just don't mess it up, please, because then you're going to have extra costs that you have to fix. I'm like, no, it's fine, don't worry. So we went to Heidelberg, and Carl said, no, man, come, there's these few little easy step ups and stuff. And they were quite a bit of a step up. And as I went up, the bike went to the left, and I thought, save the bike, you can't damage the bike. And I tried to stop it on the side, and the handlebars actually hit my hands into a rock. So this whole finger was standing like that. I was still looking at this. I'm like, wow, this is pretty cool. Before I actually recognized his moeilikheid. So I just go like, go. He's like, yes. I'm like, I think my finger's broken. It's pointing the other way. Can you come pull it? He's like, no, I'm not going to pull it. So Dolph was there by me. I'm like, Dolph, track my finger. Gunk.
Gunk.
So he just pulled it. And yeah, but I cracked the knuckles all around it. And no, yes. They like their funny stuff riding, and that's quite cool. It's lekker because you at least you learn stuff. And I mean, with all of the guys that race professionally, I mean, I've ridden with a bunch of them, and they always try and help people. And that's one thing I like. You get the people that just ride and go, oh, I'm better than everybody. Come, now you must just keep up. And then you get the guys that put their bike down. They come and they're like, okay, cool. Look at that rock. Try and do that and try and do that. And by them doing that, I always try and do that as well for friends, because they show us this is what good sportsmanship is about.
Yeah, man.
And this is how
exactly
you can help people in doing it. And no, just love it.
Listen, what's happening with the DJ scene now? Like, obviously, our reaction to the lockdown was to go and do everything online. Are you going to be doing some online gigs or what?
Yeah, I think I've actually got a first few hip-hop vinyl that I've been searching for how long, because I love my old school 12-inch plastics, playing with them. So I've managed to find some hip-hop vinyl. So I want to make a bit of a live stream at some stage.
Yeah, do
with
it.
That. But yeah, so I'll definitely let you guys know.
No, we want to know. We want to go online to the gig for sure. I mean, I think we're in this kind of new normal for quite a while now. So
I don't like the new normal.
Better get used to it, I guess. No, I mean, I'm like the whitest guy in South Africa. I need some kind of tan, and I've gone like blue now. I'm not even white anymore. I've gone blue. It's ridiculous. I need some sun. Dino, it's been a pleasure, dude. It's been more than I expected. I know we were going to laugh ourselves stupid the whole morning, but I've really loved chatting to you. Thank you so much. I'm gonna open up and let you give a shout out to whoever you want to, Brew, before we wrap this thing up.
No, awesome. Thanks. I just want to give a big shout out to the FJC clan, all the boys and girls that race with us, even the girls that still finish races after they break their arms and then only get to the ambulance and go out. I want to give a big thanks to Sefco for always being there, putting up a nice gazebo there for us and helping us out with good prices of shirts and everything. And then I want to say thanks to the Fast guys for always looking after my bike. Thanks to the F61 guys for having awesome products. People that ride bikes that help the guys that like riding bikes, if I can put it that way. Just thanks to everybody. And I've got big love to all the racing community. Thank you so much. And thanks, Matt, for having me on the show. It's really awesome. It was fun.
It's only been a pleasure.
Man.
No, I know. But check, my cheeks are hurting. I can't laugh anymore.
Dimples are going to be permanent.
Yeah, I think they already are. Dude, we'll see you around the bend. And as soon as you get a gig, just send it on to us and we'll pump that thing out there for you. But thanks for your time this morning. Thank you so much.
Oh, thanks, guys. Big love. Cheers.
All right, so that's DJ Mac'e, and I've had so much fun this morning. That was absolutely mint. Thanks for that. All right, we get ourselves ready, and this is going to be a brand new one for us next week. We're going to go stateside. One of our quad racers from South Africa emigrated at the end of last year, Louis Russ. He's actually done a new format race of the GNCCs during lockdown, so he's going to be able to tell us exactly how that all went down. And I can't wait to hear an Afrikaans guy speak with an American accent. He's over in Kentucky, so tune in next week. We're going to be talking to Louis Russ.